Good morning, lads and lassies. How is everybody today? Let me just make sure I'm actually live. I am. Good to see everybody. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about aliens. Aliens. Or as Mrs. Demon likes to call them, haliums. I'm not kidding. She actually does. It's a long story. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about aliens and whether or not they actually exist. And I'm going to be joined by a friend a little bit later. You guys might know him as BroMan Legion. And myself and BroMan Legion started making content roughly around the same time, back just over a year and a half ago or whatever the case may be. And we're going to be working on a project together, doing some skits and things like that. He's an incredibly funny person, so I think you guys will really enjoy him, and he's awesome on live streams as well. He's really great to talk to. But anyway, we're gonna have a look at a couple of videos first anyway, and we're gonna talk about excuse me, we're gonna talk about whether or not aliens exist or are likely to exist. And my headphones just made a noise, so I think they have disconnected. It's a bit of a problem with these headphones. They're not bad headphones, they're JBL, so I mean they're kind of like mid-range. They're not like high-end Sony headphones or anything. Now, I had headphones that I got a lot of shit for from you people, and that was my Beats. I used to have a pair of Beats, and I loved them. They were so good. I know people for some reason don't like them. I think it's just people being pedantic, to be honest, to be quite honest. It's like people who give out to you about how you cook your steak, you know. It's like, oh, you use Beats, do you? So mainstream, bro. I loved them. They connected automatically. I could switch them from one device to the other immediately. It was awesome. But anyway, actually that leads me to another thing. Some of you guys out there might know if there's a type of headphones you can get where... So what I want to be able to do, and maybe this is far-fetched, I'm thinking probably Wi-Fi headphones. This is my guess. I haven't really looked into it. It just came into my head last night, and now I'm just remembering. So that's why I'm bringing it up without actually Googling it first. But what I want to have is a set of headphones, right, where I can watch a video on my computer and hear the sound. It's one of the important parts of having headphones is being able to hear the sound. And then I'd be able to like pick up my phone and go on Instagram and immediately hear the sound there, and then go back to my computer and hear it there without having to reconnect and disconnect. If I could do that, that would be really cool. If anybody knows if there's a way of doing that, or a specific brand or a specific product that would allow me to do that. My guess would be that it would probably be Wi-Fi as opposed to Bluetooth, but I don't actually know. So if anybody has any idea, then that would be really cool. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So anyway, aliens. Let's have a kind of a deep dive into it and see what we think. Now, I guess first of all, we need to define what we mean by an alien. I think we all know, but people are pedantic when it comes to words, so we need to be specific. So I would classify an alien as any kind of living species, or I'll even allow for like plants and bacteria and all that kind of stuff, and that lives on another planet that isn't Earth, basically, or like that lives on a moon, or that lives on, I don't know, asteroids, or I don't know, anything. So any living organism, I would say, that lives on another planet, or maybe it's not an organism, maybe it's a type of sentient energy or whatever. You guys get the idea. Um, and yeah, so it's a pretty interesting concept, and I guess it becomes to some extent a game of numbers, right? Um, because the universe is so vast and all of that stuff. So we'll get into that in a minute. So anyway, let's have a look here. So we have a few people here. John Eagle says, my mobile will Bluetooth to do two different speaker systems at the same time. So I'm looking to do the opposite of that. Basically connect my headphones to two different devices at the same time. So it's like the same thing, but in reverse. So I assume you could do that if you can do it the other way. Commander Darklight says, yes, I believe there is life out there somewhere. Awesome. We'll get into that for sure. And he also says, do aliens exist? Have you met Team Skeptic? Oh, man. He's the closest thing to an alien, besides Mrs. Demon, I'd say, on this planet. Anyway, that's for sure. So let's kind of look at the history of aliens. They became very popular kind of in the middle, or kind of just before the middle of the last century in particular, where there was like space invasion kind of stuff, and the the whole idea of space became very popular because space flight was in its infancy and people started to kind of look to the heavens a little bit more, as it were. And so yeah, I mean, it became really popular and people started to talk about it. Then you had the whole Area 51 thing, and what was the other one? Oh man, it was in the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game. Oh, I had it. Roswell, that was the other one. And there's been a few incidences the whole world over that have kind of regarnered the attention in aliens. And it seems like about 5 or 6 years ago, the whole extraterrestrial thing was really, really popular. Even more than that, probably the last 10 years. When you had TV shows like Ancient Aliens, and, YouTube was just full of conspiracy stuff. But as we see now, that's all changing. That's all kind of, it's all, disappearing basically because of new rules and stuff like that. So it seems like it's less, it seems like it's a less common thing now, even though we have like these declassified documents and things like that. I think it's important to recognize as well that when the military or governments or whatever refer to I don't think they actually use the term UFO anymore, which is unidentified flying object. I think they use the term what is it, unidentified aerial phenomena. So UAP, I think is, what's that noise? My neighbor's being super loud. She's never loud. I hope she's okay. Just have a look at what she's doing. My neighbor's got dementia, so I have to kind of keep an eye on her. And I can see from my office. Oh yeah, she's fine. She's just gardening, having a chat. But anyway, so yeah, so the whole thing is it's really interesting prospect, right? And I guess our only thing to go on is our own lives and our own experiences of. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but what is going on out there? I think it's somebody else shouting on a phone. But anyway, so yeah, anyway, so back to what I was talking about. So the whole thing with aliens was really, 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 really popular, and then it kind of fell out of favor for a while, and now it seems to be kind of slowly but surely coming back into favor again with this release of stuff. So the thing is that when they refer to a UAP or a UFO, whatever term you want to use, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're talking about alien spacecraft or anything like that. Not necessarily. And in a lot of cases, if you look at military documents from the past, when they refer to UAPs, it's usually weapons. Sometimes it's been things like weather systems that were unexpected, just things like that. So it's not always, aliens, basically. Like if something flies past your head and you don't know what it is, I guess technically it's a UAP. Unless somebody threw it, they know what it is. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, it's an interesting concept. But for all intents and purposes, or some might say for all intensive purposes, we are going to be looking at it from the concept of living beings from another world, be that plant life, be it human cellular kind of life, or be it something else, energy, like what JL believes in. I'm only fucking with you, JL. But anyway, so when you look at the vastness of the universe as a whole, the universe is enormous and it's been around for a very, very, very long time. So I had just some things brought up here. So how many galaxies are in the universe that we know of already? Well, currently we're looking at about 100 billion galaxies. Now that number for a mere human to try to understand is just so vast that it's like 100 billion of anything seems like an enormous number. But then when you go even deeper than that, that's 100 billion galaxies. And then there's billions of planets and stuff within those galaxies. So then the number goes to huge, huge numbers. So the estimated amount of planets in the universe is approximately, and I say approximately, give or take 10 or 20, is about 700 quintillion. Was it quintillion or quadrillion? Anyway, loads of them. So there are so many planets out there. We've only managed to get to a couple of them. Well, actually, humans have only landed on the moon, which obviously isn't a planet, but you know what I mean? Extra planetary body, let's say. And so I guess the other question is not necessarily where there might be aliens, but when, because the universe is really, really old. So there may be aliens out there, or there may have been, or there may be in the future, So I think that's another thing that we humans, we because we're mere primates, we think in very linear ways in a lot of subjects. And so we forget that it might not be a matter of where, but a matter of when. And it's like, in a galaxy, what is it? A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. It's that same kind of concept, right? So there might be other, let's say, humanoid type species, let's say, that lived on a planet trillions of light years away, but also, millions of years ago. Or it could be right now, who knows? So that's another thing to bear in mind. But anyway, it's interesting to think about the fact that, humans are here. We are all here. All the animals and life forms that we see every single day are all here. And the thought that of the trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of planets out there, that there is no other living species anywhere, to me, seems a bit unreasonable. It would be like if you were a human, and this is the case for a lot of early humans, and you lived on a little island and you had no idea that there were other humans living all over the world, and then just assuming that you are the only humans on the planet on this little island. It would be kind of like that. And actually, if you think about it, and I'm not trying to rag on religion here, but if you look at religious texts, they all center around one small little part of the Middle East and had no understanding or knowledge of Aboriginal Australians or, Native American tribes. They had no idea that those people existed. So it's an interesting concept, and it's going to be interesting to see where it goes in the future from here. But anyway, let's have a look at a couple of videos. So what we've got here is, let me just find the correct, there it is. All right, so this is a video from a channel called Funker. Now, Funker usually do military type videos, really cool channel, Funker 530. And this channel is entitled, this video is entitled US Fighter Jets Battle UFOs Over Afghanistan. Now, this is a great channel, but this is obviously clickbait, right? Now, whether or not they did that on purpose is a bit of a piss take, doesn't really matter. But let's have a look at it. I want to see what you folks think it is. And tell me, do you think it's a UFO, a UAP, or something else? Let's have a look. Okay, I realize I'm getting no sound. God damn it. Okay, just give me one sec here. I'm just gonna play around with my my sound here a little bit because it seems like it is not playing ball. All right, let's try this. Whoops. How about now? Do you guys have sound yet? Damn it, man. What the hell? Okay, I think it is an issue with my output device. Just give me 1 sec here, folks, and I'll see if I can fix this. Still nothing, huh? How about that? Oh, the joys, the joys, the joys of live streaming, television, whatever you want to call it. Don't work with kids, animals, or me, is what I would tell you if you're trying to get into the field of entertainment. Let me just play with this a sec here, see if I can figure out. Okay. I mean, that should be working. Definitely should be working. Let's try again, shall we? The volume's all the way up. Hold on, maybe the video just doesn't have sound. I did not think of that possibility. That probability, I should say. Hold on. There we go. There we go. All right, it's because the video doesn't have sound, folks. Okay, folks. It would seem that you're wrong, Commander Darklight. Irish can tech, but Irish can't remember that the video didn't have sound. Anyway, let's have a listen. Or not, actually, I suppose. But anyway, let's watch. Let's see what you folks think it is. I'll just clarify. I already know what it is. Dun, dun, dun. Which one's the mothership? So there, for those who are listening, not watching, we got 4, and look, they just changed shape. So there's 4 objects in the air, kind of hovering together. They're hovering in a fairly synchronous kind of fashion, and there looks to be kind of like a trail of something coming down from them, almost like a propellant. So I'm going to see who gets it first. So yeah, that's about it really. That's like, oh yeah, actually that was interesting there. You see some kind of like what looks like a trail coming off to the side. And they stay up there for quite a while. And now they said that, so they're slowly descending, as you can see there in the video, which might be a bit of a giveaway as to what they are. So I'll be interested to see, does anybody in the side chat know what they are? Tina Jones says Chinese lanterns. You're not far off, actually. You're not far off. Let's have another look. This kind of reminds me of my dad trying to do a video, just zooming in on shit randomly. And there you see a weird, blurry object that seems to be getting bigger and smaller. All right, so we got some answers in the side chat, and you folks are absolutely right. It is flares. So these are targeting flares that are used for sidewinder missiles. And basically, they fire them up and let them float away down, and they use them for target practice. That is literally all it is. And in the side chat of this video, it's mostly ex-military people, and they all knew what it was. They were all like, oh, when I was deployed in Afghanistan, they used these all the time for targeting systems, and excuse me, they used them for like heat-seeking target systems for locking and all that kind of stuff to make sure that all of those worked. But anyway, yeah, there you go. Simple as that. But anyway, this next one's a little bit different. I'd be interested to see what you folks think about this one, because it's not as clear, and the reaction of the people involved is a bit different. Well, obviously, because the previous one had no sound. But anyway, let's have a listen and see. So this one is called Pentagon Declassifies Leaked UFO Videos.
Nickel 6-1 Tango Project,
So he's super excited that they got a lock on it.
6-1 Tango Project, Roger, there's troubleshooting machines like
Did you box moving target?
602.
No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at that, man.
So there we go. The video is not 100% clear as to what it is, but be interested to see what you folks think it could be. Is it another targeting system? Is it a railgun round? What do you guys think it is? I have no idea what this one is. It kind of looked like a TIE fighter, that's for sure. But it'd be interesting to see what you folks think. Hulken Break says April Fools. I doubt it. Facty says albatross fishing. Surely not. Surely not. Wishmaster Brazen says Thunderfoot explained this one. The information is literally in the video that need to debunk it. All right, let's have another look at it then and see if we can figure out the information. All right, let's have a look. So we got the HUD here, the heads-up display. Not sure what in there gives it away, but let's have a look.
Nickel 6-1 Tango Project, Roger, there's troubleshooting machines like
Did you box moving target?
602.
No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at that, man. Dude. Wow, look at that, man.
Because you can hear him kind of say, "What is that, man?" But I don't know what that's in reference to.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at that, man.
So yeah, I don't know. I couldn't see anything. It shows the distance, height, and speed. Even so, does that prove what it is though? I mean, that just proves its distance, height, and speed, though, right? I'm not sure that it proves what it is, but as I say, I haven't ever looked at this before, so I'm not really sure. I'm trying to see in the side chat, looking through the side chat for some ideas. No, I don't see anything. Yes, because you can calculate its size and speed. Yeah, you can calculate its size and speed, but that doesn't show what it is, though, right? Like, I mean, two things could have the same size and speed. Doesn't mean they're the same thing. So, but yeah, I think it is. I think it is most likely just another targeting system or whatever. Here's the thing. If there was like legit evidence from the Pentagon that there was, you know, UFOs, aliens coming and all that kind of stuff, I don't think they would tell us. I don't think telling us would be on top of their list of things to do with that. Because I feel like that's something they would keep secret. But why? Why would they keep it secret? That's the interesting thing. What do you folks think, though? Do you think it's likely that the elusive they, set this whole thing up as some kind of a disinformation campaign, or, you know, all this kind of stuff that people Tina Jones says she reckons it was a goose. Surely not. It didn't, like, it was just flying along though, right? But like, I didn't see it like flap or anything. I don't know. Maybe it's weird. But you guys reckon is it definitely a duck? Are you serious? Let's see. Let me have a look at that again, because that seems like a strange. All right, let's have a look here. What was it? Pentagon UFO video duck. Let's see. National Review. I don't know what the National Review is, but let's have a look here. Okay, well that's a different video, so that's not that's also a different video. Wishmaster says 100% a duck. It's moving at the same speed as a duck and it's the same size. Well, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it must be a duck. Even so, if we were to be completely intellectually honest, right, just on the evidence, right, without actually knowing for sure 100% that it's a duck, just because it's moving at the same speed as a duck and is the same size as a duck, still doesn't mean it's a duck, right? Like, for example, you could take, what's the size of a duck? I don't know, a shoe, right? Like a big shoe. And throw it the speed a duck travels and then measure it. It doesn't mean that the shoe is now a duck, right? That's what I'm getting at. I'm just trying to, you know, just look at it. It probably is a duck. I'm not saying it's not. It's just for the purposes of fun. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. But you gotta ask yourself though, like, let's be real here. If they, as Joe Nobody said, had some incredible information about extraterrestrial life or whatever, chances are it would either be a huge thing or they would completely deny it and it would never see the light of day. Okay, I'm looking at the explanation here. Now, interestingly enough, there's a physicist here on another thing that I'm reading that says it's not a duck, that it was actually a targeting balloon, and because of parallax, the movement of the aircraft, it makes it look like it's moving over the surface, but in actual fact, it's in the same place. But then that wouldn't explain the lock part of it, would it? Maybe it does. I don't really know anything about the mechanisms that they use for that. That's all I can find on that one. Oh, wait. No. Sorry. That is actually that other video. Maxwell's Hammer says, give me a break. A trained Navy pilot can't recognize a duck. I don't know. He didn't say duck in the video, did he? I'm just saying. Just saying. Yeah, I keep getting a different video about the duck, though. When I look up the duck, so I looked up Pentagon video duck, and what I'm getting is videos about a different UFO video, where they say it's a duck, but not the one that we were just watching. So maybe it's a different video. Like if you go and look it up right now on your phone, or your computer, you'll see. Let's have a look on Sky News here. There's another version. No, that's the same one. So yeah, every time I look it up, it's actually showing me a different video in reference to the duck situation. So I'm not really sure what that's all about. But anyway, what we're going to do, I'm just going to take a quick break because we're going to get BroMan Legion on here in a minute. So just give me a couple of minutes and I'll be right back. Alrighty, I think we got BroMan Legion in the house. Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? I can see you're in the call, but I can't see you. Oh wait, what happened there? We got some kind of a noise came up. Whoops. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? God damn it. All right, I'll message him on Facebook to let him know that I can't hear him. Saber Cat, good to see you, my love. Yeah, the move's going really, really good. We're getting things all in order now. Really excited to get back. He says he can hear me. Can you guys hear him? Say, hey, BroMan, say something. What the? I'm not sure what's going on here. I can't hear you at all. So just say something real quick. If you can hear me, that is. So Tony, you can hear me, but can you hear BroMan? Because I can't hear BroMan at all. Can't hear you, BroMan. It must be your microphone or something, man. You might be muted or something. Okay. Call dropped. All right, just give me a minute here. We'll try get BroMan back in here in just a second. It might just be an issue with the. Hello, can you hear me? Hello. I can't hear you at all. Or see you for that matter, but I can't hear you. Shit. I'm not sure what's going on with this. Lord Illuminous Pooh for $5 says, statistically speaking, there are too many hunks of rock that are in their own particular Goldilocks zones for aliens not to exist. I tend to agree, actually. I think it's highly likely that there are. The plot says, we have to get you on StreamYard. If I go on StreamYard, can I still use all my pretty backgrounds and stuff, though? Because I want to use my pretty backgrounds. I don't know what to do now, because I definitely don't have time to set up StreamYard right now and figure out how to use it and all that stuff. I think I've used it once before. Oh, wait, no, that was that other one. That was, what was that Discord one, Johnny? Was it something Ninja or... was it OBS Ninja? I might be able to, actually, I might use that instead. Hey, I'll just hang up on you real quick, BroMan, and I will very quickly try to set up an OBS Ninja thing. And I think that would work. So just give me 1 sec here and I will send you the link. Fingers crossed. But it's weird that we can't hear anything from you. So it's likely microphone or something like that. But it could just be Skype being an asshole. So yeah, you let me know when you're in and then I'll figure it out from there. I think there's something I need to do or something. But we'll see how it goes. So yeah, BroMan, I sent you a link. So if you click on that, I should see you pop up in the control room here in just a minute. Enable. Just trying to see how this all works, but yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But anyway, yeah, I tend to agree with you, Lord Luminous Pooh. The sheer number of planets out there that are in those Goldilocks zones. For those of you who don't know what the Goldilocks zones, it's just where it's just warm enough and just cool enough for humans to survive, or for, you know, the animals that, you know, the living species that we see around us to survive. The other elements then of it, you know, connected to it are, it's not just the temperature, but also the ability to generate an atmosphere, you know, to, in the case of our life forms, to create oxygen and such. Then there's also protection from radiation. Yeah, so, you know, that kind of stuff. So there's a whole load of different factors involved. Professor Phil Bell says, hello, would you like to know what I think about your alien question? I'm happy to explain my rationale. I'd love to hear it, Phil. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Wishmaster Brazen, thank you so much for $5 Canadian dollars, says, I agree it wouldn't make sense for there not to be life out there, but with the vastness of space, them visiting here just to spy, it's called a telescope. That's a very good point too. Oh, hold on. So, BroMan, are you in the control room? Yes, you are. Okay, give me 1 sec here. Okay, I should be able to hear you now. Can you hear me? Wait a minute. Can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me? I can hear you. God damn it, what the fuck? Like, you should be able to hear me too, right? I think that's how that works.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly, but you can't
I can't hear you. I can hear you in the stream. I can't hear you in the chat.
Son of a bitch. Johnny, what do I do?
Oh, you can hear me.
I can hear you, but...
Okay, I can hear you only in the live stream.
Okay.
But I can't...
Wait a minute. I have an idea of how I can work this out. Oh wait, that won't work.
Oh wait, I just heard somebody. Hang on, I just heard somebody. Hello?
Yeah, that's me. But now I'm gonna end up hearing myself back.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to mute your live stream, right? And then you should be fine.
No, it's not. It's not anything to do with that. It's because of the system. Just give me a minute here.
This is wildly difficult for no reason. Hey, I got to fix my camera anyway, so you take your time, bud.
I did unmute myself, but it doesn't seem to be letting him hear me. God damn. Wait a minute. I think I've got this figured out. Ah, this is outrageously silly. Johnny, how do I enable the director's microphone?
Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah. Okay, now you should be able to hear me.
I can hear you, yeah. Can you hear me?
I can, but I can also hear myself back. Now, you should be able to hear me now without an echo. So can you hear me now? And now I can't hear you. What the fuck?
There was no echo to begin with.
Now we got you. Now we got you. Alrighty.
You got me?
Now, so the next thing I need to do is figure out how to put you in the scene. Which I think I know how to do.
Like an OBS capture of some kind?
Yeah, I think I know how to do it. So I should be able to figure that out, but...
Well, while he figures that out, what's up, everybody?
Oh, wait. I think I got you now. Fingers crossed.
Hello, Plot Hole. Hello, John Eagle. Hello, Tony Regime. Is it Regime? I bet it's Regime.
Now we're getting an echo again.
Let me check something.
Wait, no. I think it's fixed. It wasn't actually on your end. Oh, wait. Now there it's back again. What the hell? I hate
I don't hear an echo on
Ninja.
I don't see. Dude, I hate all these systems, man. Discord doesn't work correctly. Let me ask you a question, though. Do you hear this tapping sound?
Yes.
Good. What's up, CMDR Dark Light?
Commander, you dumbass. Why am I hearing a fucking... Wait a minute. Okay. Now I think the echo's fixed.
You know, my video quality looks like shit.
There it is. Echo's fixed.
I gotta get a echo fixed.
So now we've reached the end of the show, lads and lassies. Thank you so much for joining. No, I'm fucking. So just
later,
before
guys.
we go on, for $5 Lord Luminous Pooh, thank you so much, says, if an alien pointed a telescope at Earth from several million light years away, they would see dinosaurs. That's very true. Because of the amount of time it takes for the light to travel to that telescope from Earth. Anyway, you folks may or may not know that I'm being joined today by somebody, and that somebody is BroMan Legion. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. How are you today, sir?
I'm great. I was telling the fine folks at home that that you and we started around the same time doing kind of similar-y type content, but I was explaining that we're kind of taking it in a totally different direction. In your case, anyway. Yeah. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. So I guess if I were to summarize, I was debunking flat earthers for about a year, which, you know, it was nice. I got I got a decent amount of subscribers, nothing to like, you know, brag about, obviously, but just, it was nice to know that I was getting any kind of response. But I wouldn't say I was miserable making videos about flat earth, but the issue I was having is that it was more fun to talk to the subscribers than it was to actually research the content and constantly talk about the same stupid 4 arguments over and over and over again, you know? And so the issue is that when I wanted to be a YouTuber, which was more than 10 years ago, the reason I wanted to do it was mainly centered around comedy, entertainment, and just an excuse to make people sort of escape the world for a couple of minutes. And I started doing comedy sketches instead. And immediately I knew I was doing the right thing. Even though I'm not the best at it yet, I still have a lot of room to grow. It's still just, it's so fun to do it. And so now I'm at a point where it's fun all the way through. It's fun writing, it's fun researching, it's fun editing the whole thing together. And so the whole thing is, it's so much more satisfying to me as a person. And I want, you know, and it might sound cheesy, but overall it'd be a better reason to give people something positive to sort of come to and watch and have a good time, you know, and that's where I'm at personally. So
yeah, I agree with you there. I found, and even now still, like, obviously I still cover some flat earth stuff and that kind of thing, but it does get really draining. It gets like actually exhausting to the point where you're like, oh my God, like every time I see a video, I'm like, I can't watch this anymore. Or when I'm you know, scrolling through Facebook and you see the same stupid arguments from flat earthers where it's like, oh, you know, like if the moon's not made of cheese, then how come it smells? You're like, oh my God, shut up, you know?
Yeah, right.
And it gets, it's like every time I see it, I actually like get a pain in my chest. I'm like, oh my God, how are people so stupid? But I've just posted a link in the side chat if anybody wants to go and subscribe to BroMan Legion. He's at 872 subs right now and roaring towards 1,000. So the sooner we get him there, the better.
Well, I wouldn't say roaring towards, because I haven't uploaded the video in 5 months, which is crazy. But
that's a good point.
I was working full time, and I couldn't make a video, man. I just couldn't do it. I tried. I had the script that I just got to the end point of a video I've been working on for like 3 months, and it really only took me like 4 days of actual work to do it, but I couldn't get to it.
Yeah.
And now that I'm at a point where I can make videos pretty regularly now, I'm excited to start roaring back towards 1,000 now.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what happens.
I mean, you sent me a screenshot last night of your like
editing.
And like my editing, if you have a look at I use Final Cut Pro, and well, the free version for now, but when you look at Final Cut Pro, you'll see that it is just like really, for me anyway, it's literally just the video line, the green screen background line, and then the audio line, and that is it. It's like simple, not too much going on. Like I keep everything really basic. And then you sent me a picture of your one. Let me just see if I can.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony.
There's nothing like that would dox you on that picture, is there?
I don't think so, but double check.
I'll double check just in case there's any accidental peen in it.
I don't have access to it. I don't
peen?
I don't think I had. Yeah, right. Like my Pornhub tabs. Pornhub tabs in the corner.
You got to be super careful, man, because he was eating green penis last night, and so my internet is really, really slow. By the way, we're having a storm right here at the moment, and Australian internet is the most fickle internet. There's countries in Africa, genuinely countries in Africa, that have better internet than Western Australia. There's nothing naughty on that picture that I can see, except for the sheer amount of editing, which in my opinion it should be illegal to have work that hard.
Go for it.
But let me see if I can.
well, but here's the thing though. So
go on.
If we're talking about the amount of editing that I do for, or at least I didn't do quite this much before. I'm upping my game now that I have the time to do it, but I still spend a whole shitload of time editing my old videos, and that kind of goes back into what I was saying about being mind numb and being drained from doing flat earth stuff, because I wasn't just now in your defense, you make good content, and it's great that you don't have to spend a ton of time on it, and you can still get viewers and you can still pull people in.
Exactly.
Whereas with my content, I was spending hours and hours and hours on a single video, and that was even more mind numbing if you look at the sheer amount of just the sheer amount of stuff that I was having to rewatch over and over and over again and listen to, you know, all the Nathan's voices just over and over and over again. The only time I had fun, see, here's the thing though. The only 2 times that I had fun was when I did the flame, like the roasting video of, I forgot his name, but the guy that's like, he looks like the dude, he looks like he's a 90s poster card, man. I don't know what his name is. He's bigger though. He's like one of the bigger flat earthers. And then I did one on him too. So the video I did on Eric Bay was really fun too, because all I did was roast him. And I realized I have so much more fun when I'm not attempting to argue with children. You know what I mean? And I'm just having a laugh,
Yeah.
and we're just having a fun time. And that was way more fun for me. And so
Oh,
that was
it
another
is.
thing that clued me in. Like, man,
It's
I gotta
so
change my
much
direction,
better.
you know?
Commander Darklight says that's Irish right there. Simple, not much going on. I agree. That sounds about right. Facty says
Speaking
that
of,
sounded. Hold on. Facty says that sounded a little racist. What sounded racist? What? Should we all be
what's
racist
that?
now, Father? What did I say that sounded racist?
Pekshi. That's the Japanese symbol for she.
Oh,
Does
is that what
mean
that
anything?
is?
Do you speak Japanese?
I never knew what that was. I knew it was Japanese, but I didn't know it was like what it sounded like. Or
Yeah,
what it meant.
it's katakana.
I'm just
not that anybody cares.
What did I say that was racist?
Yeah, I don't think you did. I think maybe he's joking.
Must be. I'm like, what? I'm racking my brain. I'm like, did I accidentally say something racist? Anyway, let me know. Let me know what was racist, and we'll address it later. But yeah, so sure. It's that's the beauty of being on the internet, man. Like, people find things racist all the time. Not saying, I know, in fact, is the Africa thing, but it's true. Have you ever been to Africa? Holy shit. It's true. It's a fact.
I didn't even hear what you said.
There's
about
countries
Africa.
in Africa that have better internet than Western Australia, and you would assume that Western Australia being
racist.
one of the Western Australia, but specifically Western Australia being one of the richest states on the planet, you would assume that they'd have better internet than Zimbabwe, but they don't.
Oh. It is not she. It's Tsu. Yeah. But it's not Satsu. It's just Tsu, and then you have a small one there, which would be incorrect. It's incorrect to do that.
Maybe you should sue him. Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
But anyway, so yeah, we've been working on a few ideas where we're looking at combining our efforts and doing some comedy sketches. We got one in the works at the moment, kind of two though. Like we've got a lot of ideas though. We've got a ton of ideas.
So here's the reality. I only had time because we talked for a while, but as far as ideas go, and you're bringing new ideas to the table now, and I have months and months and months of ideas that I haven't had time to do yet. And so, I mean, I have over 40 potential video ideas for sketches and just funny things to do. So I'm loaded, man. Now, not all of it's going to be stuff you're going to be interested in, because some of it's nerd culture and things like that. And not that you're against, not that you're against nerd culture. Yeah. But I like that type of shit, man. It is what it is.
Commander Darklight says Kazakhstan has better internet than Australia. That's nice. I like. How much?
Wait. Is that where he's from? Is that where his character's from?
Yeah, he's from Kazakhstan. Yeah.
From Kazakhstan.
Yeah. Borat.
He was like, "This was oldest woman in all the village," and he was like,
she is
40 or something like.
She is a 42. He's my mother.
I can't with.
I love her.
I can't with that guy.
I love that.
He played in Ricky.
So much.
He played in Ricky Bobby too, right? He was the French guy.
Yeah, he was like, hey, Ricky Bobby. I love that guy. Say crepes are better than pancakes. Oh, no, say crepes. No, I'm not going to say it. Say crepes, I'll break your arm. Yeah. It's so fun. All you have to do is say crepe. It's such a good... I really like him, actually. The Flat Earthers hate him because they claim he's a secret Zionist spy or some shit like that. I don't know. But he's amazing as
Everybody's
Ali G.
a secret Zionist.
Oh, yeah.
I get like... I have nowhere near the size of like many other YouTubers, and I've been accused of all my comments being bots and working for the FBI. And it's like, what am I working for? 10 cents an hour? Like what like, who am I convincing?
Exactly.
With my 800 people. It's like, good on you, man.
That's the way I feel too. It's like they claim that like all of these huge channels are controlled opposition or whatever, and they may well be. I mean, that would make more sense because they have huge channels. Like comparatively, all of our channels are tiny, and so we wouldn't have the ability to change people's perception or whatever to the same amount that someone like Mark Dice or whatever would be able to with a massive channel. You know what I mean? So it's like,
you're right.
But then again, they do say some of them, and I guess they have a good point, is that we are kind of in at that ground level where all the flat earthers are, and we're taking them on directly. So it's like, yeah, I can kind of see that. That's a fair point, actually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, real quick, Peck, I did see your comment where you said it's just smileys, and I was just busting your chops. I wasn't trying to be like, oh my God, you used incorrect Japanese. How dare you? I was just pointing it out. I've been studying Japanese for a long time, and I like the fact that I can read two of the three scripts, and so I was just flexing on you, man. But I get it though. I'm not trying to put you down or anything.
What's this? Oh yeah, Ali G was his other character actually. He took on Kent Holland in one of them, and it was one of the funniest videos that I've ever seen in my life. He accused Kent Holland of leaving a shit in a toilet backstage, and he was like, "I'm not saying it was you, but you should be ashamed of yourself." I was like, "That's hilarious." And Kent Holland, right, certainly wasn't me. That's what you would say.
Who's that? That kind of reminds me of, going back to the aliens theme, that guy from the Discovery Channel who with the big hair, and he's like, "I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens."
That guy, I can never remember his name. He's got like he's got like a Greek name, I think.
Yeah.
Let me look him
you
up.
know what's
I'll just
funny?
look up aliens guy.
Yeah, check him out. And then so he wrote Niwango, or is it Nihongo? Are you trying to say Nihongo? Nihongo.
Sorry, Giorgio Tsoukalos is that guy's name. The guy with the hair.
Yeah. That's what he is.
But yeah, he pretty much just blames everything on aliens. He's like, "Oh, my kitchen sink is blocked. Aliens." Imagine living with that guy. Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, it's like I did a video on Gina Maria Colvin Hill, and I don't know who knows her, but she's pretty big now on YouTube, and she makes these videos where she films the sky and a couple of dust things fly through, and she goes, "Look, I found aliens." And she's made videos where she accused birds of being aliens. She's accused random clouds of being aliens in disguise. She's accused, everything and everything. And it's just so funny because I don't know what it's like to live in a world where everything you look at is potentially an alien. And I like what torture do you have to go through from day to day? You know what I mean? Like, do you think she wakes up and like, and I'm not trying to be mean, because she's a nice woman, it seems like, and she's got a high spirit and she's nice to her subscribers, but she's out of this world, man. And I can't imagine, like, I have to imagine she wakes up and searches her entire house every morning to make sure there's no aliens in her house. And the funny thing is, I made a video on her and it has over 2,000 views, but it's got like 30% downvotes, all from her fans.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, oh no.
It's kind of scary when you think about it, man, because like these people do have like not necessarily big followings, but really, really like staunch followings, kind of like Daniel Pratt. Like if you go after Daniel Pratt for anything, his people will come down on you like a ton of bricks, man. It's the same with Kent Holland.
It's tough, man.
The comments from Sorry, go on.
No, you're good, man. I keep cutting you off.
I was going to say, it's like the Kent Holland fans, right? They're my favorite ones that give me shit, because they'll write, like Pratt's fans will just like leave abusive messages or send you abusive emails. But Kent Holland's fans, because they're like, God-fearing Christians, they tend not to go overly mean, but they say things like, "I was just about to sit down and watch this with my family, but because there were children present, I had to turn it off due to your profanity." And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You weren't about to sit down with the family or sit around the laptop and watch me speak for 2 hours. Get the fuck out of here. Unbelievable.
Yeah. She's funny though. I like the thing that's weird about her though is, even though, because her videos are mindless and like to the point where she's putting up content, and again, I'm not trying to bully this woman, but her content is like, I have proof of aliens, and then her proof is like a 10-second video in the dark, and you see nothing. You literally see nothing, and that's proof. And then, but she has like 80,000 subscribers, and she only had 50,000 like 3 months ago.
Do you reckon maybe she's
blowing up?
Do you think maybe she's schizophrenic or something? Probably is.
Or
something in that spectrum,
honestly,
maybe.
I wouldn't want to try and I would say put a mental illness on her, because I'm not a psychiatrist, and I would say, I don't know, it's tough. I would assume there's something going on, but I don't want to be.
Yeah, you don't want to make an assumption, but it's fair to say there's something going on there. I mean, she's definitely seeing things that aren't there. It's pretty sad, man. You see it a lot with these people that, like, you know, the numerology guys and stuff. It's like seeing all these patterns, but they always have to like add numbers or like round them up. It's like, I don't think Satan needs to round numbers up. You know what I mean? He could just make them whatever he wants. But let's see what the chat says. Yeah, a lot of them reckon that she's a bit nuts. That's for sure. Peck says, "Oh, I hate Kent Hovind. Kent Hovind is bad, but he's not as bad as Matt Powell. That's for sure." Irish Loser says, "Why did you go after Sean Hawkins, bully?" I didn't go after Sean Hawkins at all. Sean Hawkins did a live stream talking smack about me.
Comments. I don't even see that comment.
In my side chat, just below Peck's one. Let me put on this top chat.
No, it's fine. I mean, I can see them all.
But yeah, that so yeah, Sean Hawkins did a live stream talking smack about me last night. I didn't go after him at all. I didn't. Oh, I did make a kind of a tongue-in-cheek 7-second video in the bathtub because he called me a snowflake. I was like, all these snowflakes are making my bath so cold. And that was all that was. But yeah, I didn't go after anybody. I have no interest in going after him, really. But anyway, let's see here. Can you imagine her family at Thanksgiving dinner? That turkey's an alien.
Wait, you can't kill the birds. The birds are aliens.
Oh yeah. I forgot or do they not exist? There's a whole load of different.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. And you know, I try to delineate. You know, like even in the video I made about her, I did try to be like, look, I'm not coming at Gina. I'm coming at Gina's ideas.
Yeah.
And even then, people are like, oh, you're mean. You're being mean to this woman, and she's so nice and loving. And it's like, yeah, I get that she has a positive attitude towards you guys because you're literally rubbing her earlobes with every video she puts out. You know, I mean, there's, you know, but it's look, if she is willing to put out content, then she's willing to receive criticism on that content. Mm-hmm. You know, and I don't think there's a problem with that. I don't think there's a problem with that.
I absolutely agree. It's like it's like a lady I covered a while back. It was a weird series of events, but basically I covered a video about this guy who does videos going out capturing pixies, and a lot of people believed that the videos were real. So I debunked it, obviously, but I really love the guy's work. His graphic design and stuff is incredible. And I watch his videos all the time, and I made that really clear to people. I'm like, I love this guy's work. I think he's an amazing actor. He's a great character. His visual effects are fantastic, but it's not real. And I've been getting so many, like, and I mean no disrespect to anybody, but it's just what I've experienced. Middle-aged white American ladies giving me dog's abuse over it, like calling me a bully and all this kind of shit. And I'm like, dude, I'm just pointing out facts. If you don't like it, don't watch the video. And then this one went after me saying that she was going to use God and Donald Trump to track me down and sue me and all this kind of stuff. And so, yeah, she kept on putting up videos saying that I was sending people to her channel and all this stuff. I'm like, I really am not. I actually made a point of not saying her channel name so that people wouldn't go over there. And she kept on saying, like, you're stealing my information, and here in America, you can be sued for that. I'm like, well, no, you can't, because it's public domain. And secondly, I'm not in America, so good luck with that. But it's just so funny.
Right. No. You know, I think a huge part of that too is a lot of these people, you know, I know that it's really easy to say like, oh, well, they're just scamming people. They don't actually believe this stuff. And I don't think that's true with most of them. I really don't. And I know that it's really popular to say that a lot of the bigger channels do that. And I still don't think so. I still think these guys believe that what they're doing is right. And, you know, when you have somebody who 100% believes something, you know, and this is true for people who are delusional and people who are not delusional. You know, if you believe that what you are saying is correct, but people are coming down on you, you have to assume it's not the content. It's got to be something else. And so at that point, you're willing to point fingers at anybody and everybody who you think is anybody who's criticized you or said anything negative to you, right? So those people have to be the culprits. They have to be sending their armies to come get them, you know, and unfortunately, that's a kind of a phenomenon you see on both sides of the spectrum. If somebody is in a situation where they are actually correct, the same thing can happen. You know, it's probably not as often, but it certainly can. And so, I guess that's probably fueling the whole paranoia, and partly because I'm sure there's some extra paranoia there to begin with.
Absolutely. You see it as well where flat earthers in particular, just because it's, I think, a good reference point for everybody. You see, flat earthers that do this thing where one of them might change coats and decide, okay, I'm no longer a flat earther, or accidentally disprove flat earth, and then immediately they become an enemy. They become this controlled opposition operative and all this kind of stuff. It's like,
oh
they never,
yeah, absolutely.
It's complete excommunication.
Like Mr. Nodell, right? Mr. Bob Nodell.
Yeah, exactly. Controlled opposition, just like
Same-
everybody that goes against them.
Same thing with Eric Dubé when he had his breakdown and he was like accusing everybody of piggybacking off of his work and starting a bunch of drama. Everybody was like, "Oh, he must be from the other side." And it's like, well, no, it's you guys. Look, conspiracy theory attracts a lot of people who are disenfranchised to begin with, and a lot of the reasons that people are disenfranchised is some sort of mental illness, and so you're gonna see a higher percentage of people in those groups that tend to suffer from something, and so that's just inevitable. It's not everybody's controlled opposition. That's just your way of justifying why there are crazy people who believe the same things you believe, and that's unfortunate. But what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And when you try to debunk this stuff, they do see it as an attack on them and their belief systems, which I get that. And even when you try to be cool about it or try to be chill about it, be like, hey, look, I'm not having a go, but here's the facts. Can we talk about it? You get met with complete, like, no way, I'm not talking to you. You're a controlled opposition. And like, it's very hard to find a middle ground. Like there's one flat earther that I had a debate against called Effed Up World. He's a really nice guy. We chat all the time, and he's really easy to talk to. Now, we disagree on tons of shit, but he's one of the ones that doesn't see me as a disinformation agent or anything, just as a guy on the internet, which is just what I am. But what I'll do in the meantime, I gotta go take a quick Riley because I'm bursting. So I'll leave it in your fair, beautiful, creamy little hands.
My fair, beautiful, creamy little hands. That's a great way to leave it off, man. Here, let me display my creamy hands for everyone while you're gone. We can make a show out of it. I think a Riley is a poop, right? I think that's, if anybody in the chat wants to clue me in on that. Let's see, Irish Demon is a tender little snowflake. I'll have to watch it later. Hello, Angie. Welcome to the stream that I am now alone on. Old School says, I heard Canada is more per capita. More what per capita? More like crazy people per capita? Oh yeah, Fred, you said, are there as many nutters in other countries as not in the US? I believe that flat earthers are more prominent in the UK, actually, if I'm not mistaken. There's a lot of conferences and things like that. Oh, O'Reilly is a P. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Only hands? I like it. Liquid Riley. My God. I haven't made any videos about Riley. None whatsoever. We're sort of all over the place as far as what we're talking about. I think I haven't even gotten a chance to address the question is, were there aliens? Now the stream name is different now, though, so I don't know. Depends on where we go. PHT the one sin. What'd it do? Oh no, just PH the one sin. I don't know why it read the T like it was a separate thing. So, since it was the title for a little while, I would say, I'll ask a question and we'll see how many answers we get. Who believes that there are extraterrestrials in general? And then the second follow-up question is, who believes that extraterrestrials have visited Earth? We'll see what everybody's sort of thinking. See if we can get a little conversation going about that a bit. Well, of course there are, right? Look at all the different life that Earth hosts. Yeah, you would think. You would think. I would say, though, that if we're making the assumption that life must be abundant in the universe because it's abundant on Earth, that we are using our very limited perspective to make that assumption. And the Fermi paradox does seem to kind of go against what we would assume in that regard. Not that there's not life out there somewhere. I mean, the universe itself is massive, but at least in this galaxy where we can see, it would appear as if it's not very common. And there's a lot of things about that. And then let's see this. Okay, I got to scroll up a bit. We got a lot of yay and nay. So pretty much everybody's in agreement that there is life somewhere else in the universe, which I can definitely agree with that. And no, that they probably have not visited us, although some people are open to the possibility. Yeah, so that seems pretty reasonable assumptions to make, I would say.
I have returned.
You have returned. So I posed a question to the chat, which
I noticed that I lost about 40 subscribers in that last minute. No, I'm fucking with you. Yeah, no, I could hear.
Oh my God.
So let's actually make a poll. While we're on the subject, do aliens? Hold on, I'm really bad at typing. Exist? Yes or no? Have your say. I heard you mention the Fermi paradox, and I think it's really important to bring that up. And so, can you explain for people what that is, just in case anybody doesn't know what that is?
So, I mean, the way that I define it is that because of the abundance of life on Earth, you would assume that we are not. There's a lot of assumptions being made. The first assumption is that we're more likely to be the mean, not the exception. And so, if we are the mean and we're the average, then you would assume that there would be life relatively as abundant as us relatively often. And so there was an equation put out. I don't remember what it's called. I don't remember what the equation is called, but the equation was like, we can determine how many examples of intelligent life should exist around us based on assumptions. Obviously you could plug in different numbers because there were a lot of variables there. But even though according to that logic, there should be life visible to us, there really isn't. And so the Fermi paradox is, if we are common, which we would like to assume, why is it that we can't see signs of it anywhere else? At least no concrete signs of it. And it's very interesting because you want to make the assumption that we're the mean, right? That we're the average, because what are the chances that we're not the average? It's a much lower chance that we're not the average, that we're some kind of exception. But the fact that we don't see it anywhere would lean towards, if you're looking at just that observation by itself, would lean towards the argument that maybe we are pretty exceptional as far as complex life goes. But who knows? You know, there's too many questions. Is it the Drake equation? I thought so.
Yeah, the Drake equation. Yeah, and that's a really good point. I think like when you look at the complexity of just life in general, like even the most basic of life forms, in terms of the whole universe, it's not necessarily that complex. So I mean, it could be the case that, as you say, it's just one random emergent thing that's happened, and it might never happen again. And in the expansive time that the universe has been around and will be around for, it's just a blip. It might just be one tiny little thing.
Absolutely. Well, and it also depends on a couple of other things too. So we'd have to assume, like, once life starts, how long does it last from beginning to end, right? And one of the other possibilities put out there was, like, if you take, like, say human life, for example, which is like quote unquote intelligent life, and you take it from the very beginning of when intelligent life first emerged to the point that it's probably going to end, which is, you know, obviously we're just speculating, but if you take that tiny amount of time, it's so small in a universe that is billions of years old that it could be that we just don't line up with any other life forms that have gotten there and that they have already long died. You know,
that's something I said early on. It might not be a question of where, but a question of when.
It could be, it could be. You know? And then another cool theory was the great barrier, or the great I think it's called the Great Barrier. But it's like, if we're looking out and we're not seeing life, then we have to make the assumption that either it's not very common, or that complex life is not very common. And if it's not very common, what's stopping it from becoming complex life? Is it because societies inevitably always destroy themselves? Or is it because single-celled organisms turning into multicellular organisms is so damn impossible that happens so very rarely. You know what I mean? The barrier is who knows where, right? But the assumption could be either or, that we are either before the barrier or that we are after the barrier. If we're before the barrier, then we can expect some kind of catastrophic event in the near future that's probably going to take us out if it took out everybody else. Or we're after the barrier and we're one of the only examples of that happening, which is also a neat way of looking at it. There's so many ways to look at this. It's so fun to.
It is, and it's so vast as well. That's the thing. It's like this huge thing.
Facty's question says, describe intelligent life. So I know we all make the argument that humans think we're intelligent. I don't buy that. Humans are intelligent. The human brain is more complicated. It's the most complicated thing in the universe. Period. Point blank. Period. And
that we're aware of.
When we're that we're aware of course. But when you're looking at so a lot of people make the assumption that if other life exists out there, it's probably more intelligent than we are. That's a weird assumption to make, because humans have not, we haven't changed intelligence in 10,000 years. We've just changed the way that we cooperate. A lot of societies have changed. But if you went back into medieval times and you lived in a city, your experience there is going to be very similar to your experience today. The main difference is the technology that's now available to you. And so I would say on average, people are more intelligent because of genetics, but not much. It's a small change. And, this idea that if we do find some super advanced alien species, that they're going to be devoid of all of the human problems that we face is a vast assumption that doesn't really hold any place in a logical argument, at least not in my opinion, because why would that be the case? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense, because competition is what drives societal advancement. And if you don't have that competition, you stop the advancement. If you stop the advancement, you don't get super advanced species. And so I really do think that humans can be classified as a genuinely intelligent species. Now, if you're saying, well, but look at all the stuff we don't know. Well, yeah, but look how complex the fucking universe is. Who can know that?
Look at all the stuff we do know. I mean, compared to even just compared to 50 years ago. The amount of knowledge we've gained in such a tiny blip of time is vast and amazing, frankly. So for human beings to, excuse me, come from, our earliest ancestors to where we are now in a relatively short period of time is a sign of extreme intelligence.
And the advancement that we've made is happening way faster than our intelligence is growing. And that's something that people need to think about. So if we run into an alien civilization that's 10,000 years ahead of us in technology, there is no reason to assume that they're not dealing with the same exact moral issues, religious issues, psychoanalytical issues, mental illness issues. They're probably going to have the exact same problems. There's no reason to think that, because everybody's like, well, what if the aliens just don't visit us because we're pieces of shit? It's like, bro, I hate to break it to you, but that's life. That's what life is everywhere that you see it. And there's no reason to assume it's different anywhere else. There's really not.
Exactly. The other side of it is that, like what you were saying earlier, to assume that they're super intelligent would be a bit of a stretch. I mean, it could be the case that who knows, we might be the most advanced life form. We might be that life form that we're searching for, that
at least in this galaxy.
Yeah, absolutely. And and I mean, who's to say that there isn't planets out there that are, like, if they're exactly the same as Earth or whatever, or very, very similar, where the creatures that could potentially live there might be way back on the evolutionary scale relative to what we have here. I mean, it could be right back in the, the period of, the primordial soup or something.
Yeah, I agree with what Richard is saying. If they have heads, arms, and legs, they're probably just like us. And that's, I guarantee that there are. I guarantee that they are, because you again, competition is what drives life forward, period. It's not even just what drives human societies. It's what drives evolution. Competition, death, cruelty, strength, weakness, intelligence, non-intelligence, those are the things that drive forward progress. And it's been that way for billions of years, millions of years, hundreds of millions of years. And so the idea that that's suddenly going to be gone because of some advanced species, I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, the other way of looking at it is that we are kind of looking at that as, from the perspective of humans. But what's to say that, for example, it could be a species of, I don't know, like super duper rodent who doesn't think like we do, but is equally as intelligent or more so. who has a totally different structure, or a type of creature that has like a hive mentality, like bees or ants or whatever, that just operate in a totally different way. And so there's that element of it too. Or it could be something unlike anything we've ever known or experienced.
Yeah, well, and that's another big possibility too. What if there's other complex life out there that exists in a manner that we just cannot detect, like only exists in a certain light spectrum, or there's so many different possibilities, obviously. But I'm throwing it. If you look at Earth, the way that life exists is pretty uniform across the entire planet. There's a ton of variation, but the DNA breaks down the same, and you would have to argue that that's probably a truth. Unless there are universal differences, because I read this theory recently that the laws of the universe may actually be completely different depending on what part of the universe you're in. If that's the case, then who the fuck knows, right? But if that's not true, right, exactly. But if the laws of the universe are constant, like we generally believe them to be, then you would expect life to appear in a form similar to us when we find it, or at least in some form similar to us,
Yeah. I agree. I think it's a huge question. We're probably not the dudes to answer it either, but it's interesting to see, because I think a lot of people's answers in the side chat are very much from the human perspective, solely from the human perspective. So it's kind of interesting to see that, actually.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I don't mean to come off as a know-it-all or anything. I'm just throwing out.
No, it's a really good point. Hulkenbreak says, possible all the spacefaring aliens already did their space dance eons ago as well, and they're just dust now. That's absolutely
That's also
right.
very possible.
Yeah, it again goes back to that thing of the matter of when, like a galaxy far, far away kind of thing.
Yeah, we both talked about that already. Yep, absolutely. So good point. Hulkenbreak.
Let me see here. Richard says Bob Lazar is scary real. I believe that, dude. I know of Bob Lazar. He was like was he supposed to be like a secret agent, or had some knowledge of alien life forms or something? I've seen a few breakdowns of his videos where people say it's definitely real, and then others say it's definitely fake, and it's like, well, who do you believe in that scenario? He's pretty famous in that whole world.
Now I will say this, with all the news of declassifications coming shortly, I'm really curious what NASA's got up their sleeve, because we know for sure that there are situations with military that have come out recently that they ran across something that they couldn't explain several times, and in fact very commonly, it seems like. So I'm really curious what that's going to show us. But I don't think it's going to confirm aliens like people think it's going to do, but I definitely think it's going to be. Yeah, most likely. I mean, but the thing that there was one of the guys was talking about, and he said, it's not that we're assuming it's aliens, but when you have this thing that's being watched by dozens of people, and it's doing things that are 100 times more advanced than anything we can even dream of doing, that's an alarming thing to see. And so I'm interested in what that's going to be, because I really want to know what they've found. Because I don't think they're going to be like, oh, hey guys, guess what? Aliens are real. I don't think that's going to happen. But
me either.
I would still like to read more about it,
Yeah. I guess we talked about it earlier about that if there was definite evidence of alien life forms and blah, 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 that they would either not tell us, or what actually, I guess here's a good question. Who is they? Who do you think they is that flat earthers, etc., like to refer to?
Depends on.
I guess the Illuminati.
Yeah, the Illuminati, the Freemasons, the Rosicrucians, the Rothschilds,
Simon.
Yeah, Simon. Yeah.
They've really got a major hate boner for Simon. I think it's just because he's such a big creator now.
Because he's big, yeah. Because he's big. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I'm excited to get out of this field, kind of, because once I start getting good progress doing comedy stuff, I can avoid all that drama from all these crazy people that want to come and tell me how stupid I am about my perspective of the earth. It'll be nice to avoid that.
Not to mention the way they act towards us, like trying to get our channels taken down, and the constant threats that I get from them and things like that. It gets really, I don't know, it gets old really fast, man. really, really fast. And then there
Heck
are
said
problems
psyop.
within the community as well. I mean, nobody here in the side chat has their head in the sand about that. There are issues within the community as well that
Yeah.
makes it difficult to be a part of sometimes because you don't know
Yep.
when you're going to be the target next. Like with me last night with that whole thing with Sean Hawkins, like I always said that was an inevitability because we've butted heads on a few things before. And
Oh yeah, I missed that one.
always
What
saw it.
happened?
So okay, so I'll give people a brief rundown. I know Johnny O is going to be covering it on his show. But basically, what happened was I put up a video on my other channel about moving to Australia, the pros and cons, and what to expect, and all that kind of stuff. And my thumbnail is something like pros and cons of emigrating to Australia, right? Now, anybody reading that would know what's meant by that, right? Like you would know it means moving to Australia.
If you look at that and you get offended, I would say there's a lot more going on with you than the video itself.
Exactly. So when you look up what does emigrating mean, there's a few different
Oh, did he think you said
answers.
immigrating?
So what it is right. So when you the difference between immigrate and emigrate, right? So emigrate is to leave a country, and immigrate is to go into a country. But it's not quite as simple as that. There actually is a bit more kind of nuance to it. But what I'll do, just so people can see, I'll bring up the definition here on the screen so people can actually have a look and see what I'm talking about here. So if you just simply look up what does emigrate mean on the Googles, it says emigrate, leave one's own country in order to settle permanently in another. And the example given is Rose's parents emigrated to Australia. So he was claiming that my use of the word emigrate instead of immigrate was wrong. Now, if you look up immigrate, what immigrate means is...
But why would he start a feud with you over a semantic argument? I don't understand.
See, here's the thing, right? So he started off by saying that that I was wrong, right? And that's fine. Maybe I was. I mean, it's not a big deal. But my response to him was simply like, hey, like, you know, who cares? You know, basically. I mean, it's like, even if it is wrong, who cares? And I just corrected. I said, look, basically, from the way I read it, that's not the case. So here's immigrate. So immigrate means come to live permanently in a foreign country. An Australian who immigrated to Britain in 1982. I didn't move to Australia permanently because I'm not going to be here in 2 weeks' time. So it would suggest that that word might not be the right word. Migrate, maybe, or moved to would probably be more accurate, or moved to for a short term or whatever. But that's not even the point. What it all boiled down to was when he brought that up, and he does this all the time, right? Where he nitpicks these stupid little things. And
well, who is he?
Oh, he's just this guy in the community. He makes some videos sometimes. But so here's the thing, right? He nitpicks things all the time. And one thing that I always disliked was I don't like when people are overly pedantic, right? Just for the sake of it, right? So when it comes to certain phraseology or whatever, some people are incredibly pedantic. And I tested this out the other day. I put up a poll and I asked people about their religious beliefs. Are they atheist, agnostic, think there might be a God, or absolutely believe in God? And I specified in the thing, obviously I can't use the term to cover every single individual person's beliefs. So pick the one that closely matches yours or not. And the idea was that people, I knew it would happen, and it did within minutes, that people would start commenting, well, none of these specifically match my belief system. And I'm like, well, then pick the one that suits you or pick none. And I just wanted to prove a point that people can be overbearingly pedantic, and that's his problem. He's really, really, really pedantic. And so I called it out. I was like, hey, like, who cares? Like, I mean, what's the, like, you know what it means, you know what I meant, so what's the problem? Like, what's the issue with this? And also there are some questions about whether or not his thoughts on it were correct in the first place. Like, it seems like you can use both terms. If I was to use the sentence properly, you would probably say I emigrated from Ireland and then immigrated to Australia. One logically follows the other, because if you're leaving one country, you've got to go somewhere. But then immigrate would suggest that you're doing it permanently, which I'm not. So it's kind of like, it's a gray area or whatever. And it all just came down to that basic thing of, well, who cares, dude? And he was like, it was just a joke, you fucking snowflake. You can't take a joke. I was like, well, it evidently wasn't a joke. It was just you being pedantic as always. So, I just want you to qualify what you're saying. And then he was calling me a dipshit and saying I was stupid and that what was the other thing he said? That I would never pass an English test. As it happens, just, little mini flex here. When I finished high school, I got an A+ in English, as it happens, believe it or not. And it's just like, yeah, so I do sometimes challenge people on the pedantic shit because it just irritates me. It's like, why do you need to be pedantic over small things? You know what I meant. You know what I was getting at, obviously, because you attempted to correct me. It would seem wrongly or questionably in this scenario. So anyway, I called it straight away. I was like, I guarantee this guy's going to make a video about me because that's what he does, right? And I was in the fucking bath chilling, watching motorbike videos, and I got a message from a friend, and they were like, "Oh, he's made a video about you already." I was like, "No shit." So I went and I had to watch, and it was like calling me a snowflake, and I can't take a fucking joke, and I'm triggered, and I'm like, dude, I'm chilling in the bath with my sunglasses on, having a vape and a glass of wine, while you're making a video crying about me. It's like, what is your problem, man? Then he came in my Discord, started causing trouble in there, and then he blocked everybody, and I'm like, dude, come on, man. To quote Joe Biden, come on, man. So yeah, that's where it all stemmed from, right? And then a few people started commenting, and there was all sorts going on. But yeah, I mean, like there's times where being pedantic is good, right? Like, I mean, when it's not bad. When it's like an accurate scientific discussion or whatever, like where accuracy is so important that you need to question every word, then fine. But when you're like questioning semantic arguments, you're just being a flat earther at that point, because that's what they do. That's all they do. Like when flat earthers do the whole thing, do you know that the Greek origin of this word means? I'm like, I don't give a shit what the Greek origin of the word means. This is what the word means now. You know what I mean? And it's just that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's where it all stemmed from. Tony Regime says, I'm pedantic, but you use the word emigrate correctly. I think I did too, to be quite honest. I mean, I'm open to correction, obviously, but it's just that I know when he does it, it's like this annoying, pedantic way of doing it, and I just was like, nah, fuck you, I'm gonna question that. But yeah, so that's where that all stemmed from. And then he had to go with Johnny being pedantic like over Johnny as well, right? So like with Johnny,
it just seems like a really weird reason to start beef.
Yeah, it's completely stupid, right? And he got so triggered over it that he actually went and made a video about me, a live stream, which didn't seem to go down too well with people. But the other thing is that he went after Johnny O for some reason, and I don't think Johnny O did anything to him, but he was like, he's part of that fucking group with Johnny O, and that other guy, he didn't know he said he didn't know Johnny O's name, bullshit. He was like, I'll send you a gold star in the mail. But he was like, oh, part of that fucking group, Johnny O, and he does this stupid thing at the start of all his videos where he does like rack focus, but he's already rack focus, so why is he saying it? And it's like, dude, it's just an intro. He's a filmmaker. He's just making a filmmaking reference. He's like, I've told him so many times, and I'm like, we don't really care. Like, if you've told us, like, it's not something that any of us care about. Like, your views on that or whatever.
Well, it's a dumb reason to make an argument. I don't understand. Like, if we're gonna start this huge beef over somebody using a word that you didn't like, I mean, just I don't know, man. Just move on. If you don't like it, move on. Right? How hard is it? I was just like in the chat, I was just fucking with him. It was like, I actually don't care about this. It's just fun to toy with somebody sometimes. And then, so real quick, probing time says, I doubt we can see planets 3.2 billion light years away. So you're correct. We can't see planets very far away at all. The way that we know that certain star systems has planets is because of the wobble of that sun. So you analyze the wobble and you calculate the gravitational effect of the bodies around it, and then you can determine the size, distance, and number of planets circling a particular star system. So yeah, it's really, really, really advanced stuff, you would kill yourself trying to do it before you figured out how.
Yeah, oh man, it's yeah, like the way they do that shit's amazing. I'll just say for people in the side chat, if you just keep it cool, no fucking no don't be calling each other dumbasses and shit. Just be respectful.
Wait,
you can disagree without being assholes. Yeah, it happens all the time. So here's the thing, right? On my other channel, I
didn't even see the argument.
Oh, it's just silly, you guys. Come on. Like, I mean, on my other channel, I had to get rid of all of my moderators because people were fighting all the time. So I just got rid of all moderators. If I have to do that again, then fine. But please, guys, just you can argue. That's the whole point. I always say that about my channel as a free speech channel. Argue with each other all day long, but there's no need to descend into name calling and stuff like that.
Well, especially like for I'm not trying to call out a moderator, but if you're a moderator, just keep it light, man. You know,
just stay chill, guys. You know my channel is always as chill as can be, but it's like just just keep it chill. Let's not go at each other's throats too hard. But yeah, so that's what that whole thing with Sean was, and like as I say, I was chilling having a wine in the bath, like just before going to bed, and somebody messaged me, was like, he's made a video about you. I was like, get the fuck out of here. So then I watched it, laughing my ass off. So he kept claiming that it was a joke, but it's like it obviously wasn't a joke. I mean, just man up, at least admit that much, right? You're just being pedantic and difficult. It's not a joke, right? It's not a joke. That's fine. I don't care if you're trying to correct me. That's fine. But
I have managed to stay away. I don't know how I've done it, man. I made videos on flat earthers for a year, and one time, what's his name? He's one of the biggest ones. He's with. God damn, I just gotta look at my old videos because I gotta remember one person's name, and then it will open the floodgates for everybody else because I cannot remember.
Is that Nathan Thompson?
No, not Nathan Thompson.
Hold on,
I've only had
I'll open up your channel. 2 secs.
Yeah, well, my channel's a lot of it's private now, so I gotta go through my
content,
manage videos, go to my content. I made a video about. We need to talk about what's his name? Jeranism. Jeranism was the guy that I said was the 90s poster child.
Jaren, yeah. Jism.
Yeah, and then Jeranism's buddy. It's another big YouTuber. He's a little older. He made a video where he went to NASA and he was like, look at these rockets. These aren't real or something. Oh, like that.
That's Mark Sargent.
Mark Sargent. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy.
So Mark Sargent commented on one of my videos before. And then that was it. There was no follow-up. I tried a little bit, but there was nothing. And then Regina Maria commented on the video I made about her just to say this is really funny. And I said, I'm glad you liked it. And so then when I made my second video about her, I was like, I won't be mean because you weren't mean. But then her followers are vicious, man.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
they're not good,
man.
They're not good at it, but they're trying to be. You know what I mean? So
actually, we got a really interesting comment here from Professor Phil Bell, who's a bit of an expert on these kind of things. Says no alien can come here from billions of light years away, even if they were small enough and had the energy to travel at the speed of light, because obviously the distance that light needs to travel. But here's a question for you: what about now? This is coming from my totally uneducated brain here, Phil. What about things like warp speed or like going through wormholes and shit like that? Is that just sci-fi or is that legit? Because I have no idea about that kind of stuff.
Oh, so while he answers that, the Alcubierre drive is a working mathematical model for warping space-time. And it's... I say working loosely because it requires, I believe, dark energy or dark matter, either one of those things, but two things that we haven't actually found or proven. But we assume based on the mathematics that they're there. And so the Alcubierre drive doesn't need to go at light speed, and it just needs to bend space around it. So you could travel speeds that would, speed itself doesn't kill you. It's acceleration, right? But you could travel at extremely high speeds without actually traveling. So you're completely sidestepping the G-forces, right? And so that is mathematically it works. If we can get dark energy or I can't remember which one it was, dark energy or dark matter.
If you can warp space time, would that be exponential speed? Like exponential increase in speed, or how does that work?
What you're doing is you're shortening the distance in front of you and lengthening the distance behind you. And so you are it would be like it's like it's a dots on a balloon is a good way to look at it. Does it require negative mass? Either way, it requires something that we haven't found yet. But if we ever do find it, then we've just unlocked the gate to I would say galaxy travel. I don't know what the word is, but we would have unlocked the transgalactic. Yeah, we would have unlocked the key to that. So because we can only get better at it, and once that has, if there's an alien species that has mastered that technology, then they absolutely could do it. Now, again, that is reliant on a theoretical particle or thing that we haven't yet unlocked. So who knows if it's possible? Mathematically, it's possible. But it depends on if that exists, right? That would be awesome, though.
That would
really
be
cool.
fucking wicked. Irish Loser says, "You're a bully. My a bully? What about my bully? What are you talking about?"
Well, he named himself Irish Loser, so I'm assuming he's.
Oh yeah,
I
didn't even put two and two together there. I was like, "What the fuck?" But
speaking of Irish,
have
you noticed my shirt?
I didn't because there's a big fucking microphone in the way.
Yeah, do you see it now? Do you see my Irish symbol? Stacey bought it when she went to.
That. That's awesome.
She bought it. It's a Celtic something or other. She bought it when she went to Ireland. So this shirt came from Ireland.
Oh, what part of Ireland was she in?
I don't know. She went and saw these cliffs that were super huge.
The Cliffs of Moher.
And then there was like, yes, she went to the Cliffs of Moher, and then there was this cool pathway that's like surrounded by trees, and it looks really pretty.
Oh, that's in Northern Ireland. I think that one is.
Possibly, yeah. But she definitely went to the Cliffs of Moher.
They're
like
awesome.
sheer. Yeah, they were cool. She had pictures. It looked really cool. But she bought this in Ireland, so that's cool.
That's wicked. Gina says you can fly into the sun to travel to other suns. Don't try that. Health warning, do not try that. Oh no, Robert Madewell says Gina says you can fly into the sun to travel to other suns. Do not try that. Health
there
warning.
it is. Yeah, I would not do that.
Wear sunscreen.
So is Irish Loser still around? Or unless you guys popped him out quick, that's fine if you did.
I think so. Hold on, let me see.
I just don't get the whole you're a bully thing. Like, if you're criticizing someone's ideas, where in that does bully become a thing? You know what I mean? Like, where does that come from?
It'd be a different story if like I constantly ragged on them and like abused them and whatever. Then yeah, you could say that is then bullying, cyberbullying. I don't know if he's talking about us talking about flat earthers or us talking about Sean Hawkins, but if somebody makes a video about me calling me all the cunts, then I'm going to respond to it. I mean, that goes without saying, you know, especially if it's a member, allegedly a member of my own community. Alien Spore, thank you so much for $5. Said psilocybin mushrooms are alien beacons. Spores survive space. I actually I've never tried it, but I would love to. They're all over the place in Ireland, and they're actually legal. Psilocybin mushrooms in Ireland, as long as they're raw, you're not allowed to dry them, but you can freeze them. So you go pick them at around I think autumn time, and then you can use them throughout the year. Professor Phil Bell says warp speed is just sci-fi. Speed is limited by the speed of light. We could speculate about an Einstein-Rosen bridge or Einstein-Rosen wormhole. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. But what I would say though, and I don't want to sound argumentative, but warp speed, given the parameters of the Alcubierre drive, is not sci-fi, but it requires another thing that we don't have. So I guess you could say that's sci-fi, but and mathematically it's theoretically possible. So we're not just saying like, oh, go to warp factor 7 here. We're talking about a real thing that has potential if we can make further advancements in another area of science, which who knows, right? But
that I wouldn't say that stuff is really interesting though. Just
that it can survive in space.
Yeah, I never knew that. That's so cool. Yeah, somebody mentioned about tardigrades. They're like what do they call them? They're like little pigs. They're like these tiny little creatures.
Tardigrades?
Yeah,
they look gross. They're called what's the other name for them? They're called
it's like space pigs or tardigrades. Oh, water bears or moss piglets. They look so cool, man. So it's a micro
look really cool,
animal.
yeah.
It's short and plump.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's describing me actually here. Short and plump and long when fully grown. So I assume they're microscopic, right? They've surely
tardigrades. I think so.
That's so cool, man.
Well, you know what's? I mean, look, if we're talking, there's an insect that is so small that its density, its mass is so light that air is like water to it, and so it can swim through the air as if it were water, and that's insanity to
That
me.
is
That things like
so
that are,
cool, man.
you know what I mean?
Let's see here. I'm gonna see if I can find chubby
Tardigrades are
misunderstood.
microscopic eight-legged animals.
It says here, Journey to the Microcosmos. Oh, that looks like a fun channel. I gotta save that one. It says, tardigrades, chubby, misunderstood, and not immortal. Again, evidently describing me. They look so
Chubby,
cool,
misunderstood,
man.
and not immortal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody put
So
one
just to touch back on.
Go ahead. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. I'm just looking through some stuff.
I was gonna say just to touch back on the poll. It looks like we're sitting at 96% yes and 4% no on 45 votes. So
it's
pretty
like
widely.
Yeah, it seems the consensus. I wouldn't call it a scientific consensus per se.
Of course not. Yeah, no.
But yeah, other than that, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. But it's just neat to know where people's minds are at. But I get it though. I mean, universe is so damn big, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, it's fucking amazing. Let me see. Mandelbrot says we can accelerate charged particles to 99% the speed of light. Maybe we could accelerate charged spores or some kind of nanotech to the same speed and point it at an exoplanet. It would still take a long time to get there, though, wouldn't it? Even at the speed of light.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. So light speed is inefficient. It's just not enough. Even if you could travel light speed, you can't make it anywhere. You can't make it anywhere. You can travel we could make it. The nearest star is still what, eight years away going at light speed, or is it even further? I don't remember.
And then you have to slow down as well. It's like,
yeah. Well, that's the problem with actually traveling at light speed. You will die unless you accelerate extremely slowly and decelerate extremely slowly, which requires energy that we just don't have. We just don't have the energy for it. You know what I mean?
Professor Phil Bell says, the reason I disagree with your guest is that being a creature implies having mass. Herein lies the limitation. You would need to find a way to disassemble and reassemble the object. So intergalactic IKEA.
So I hear where you're coming from. If we're talking about mass is unable to reach light speed, absolutely. But if you could bend the space in front of and behind you, you're not actually traveling. So you are sidestepping the need to deal with G-forces.
So you're like an intergalactic sovereign citizen. I'm not, what is it? I'm not driving, I'm traveling, bro. Anyway, sorry.
You're sidestepping. I was just saying, yeah, you're sidestepping the need to deal with the fact that you have mass. So if it's theoretically possible, it's not something we're doing now, but it's theoretically possible. And if we could manage it, then it would stop any limitation of us having mass. And it would also fix the problem of having to accelerate and decelerate. So it's actually a one-size-fits-all solution. But again, it's theoretical, and we're talking distantly theoretical. So it's just look up the Alcubierre drive. It's just a fun read. That's all. Just a fun read. I'm not trying to throw everything he's saying is correct. So I'm not trying to be like a dick or anything. Hopefully I'm not coming across that way.
No, not at all. Not at all. I know we're just kind of spitballing because like he's a legit professor and we're not.
Right.
But,
well, then maybe he already knows more about it than me, and I'm willing to concede for sure. But I've read pretty extensively on it, and those are the things that I have read on it.
Yeah.
Because it was just interesting to look up.
It's fascinating. Like theoretical stuff like that is super interesting. And what makes it more exciting is when you do actually find the things that you need for it to work. It's like, wow, now things can start changing. It's pretty epic. But anyway, let me see. How long?
Dubé the Coward is the Coward is a name in the chat.
Yeah. Dubé the Coward's been a very long time supporter, probably from the start actually of my channel, near the start anyway, for sure. But anyway, we're heading up on the 2-hour mark now, and I've actually got to go do some stuff around the house, getting ready for the move and all that stuff. What I was going to say, now you won't be able to hear it, but if it's all good with you, I might play your video. What do you reckon?
Which one?
The food joint one.
I mean, you can if you want. I maybe start people off light with the one that my girlfriend's in, because then there's a little bit, it's a little bit more relatable.
Which one was that?
I don't know.
Let me find that.
When your girlfriend asks you to do anything.
Oh my god, yeah, I remember that one. Let me see.
Yeah. That one's cheesy, but it's silly enough to be funny, and people have responded well to that video.
So you won't be able to see this other than on the stream. So just so you know, let me see. I actually found that super relatable as it happens. All right, so what we'll do is we'll probably close with this, folks. So before we go, if you want to go check out BroMan's channel, there's a link in the side chat pinned above. Do go check it out. There's going to be a lot coming from him and from both of us over the coming months, working together and stuff like that with some ideas. So that's going to be super exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. We were on the phone for like, what, 6 hours the other day, talking through all that stuff.
Too long.
It was long, and we both have similar thought systems. Our brains work similarly. So as you can imagine, we got off topic. In fact, we were mostly off topic, and we got on topic for like 20 minutes. But so anyway, with that, we'll play this video. Is there anything you want to say before you go?
I would say, you're asking me, right?
Yeah.
Just to clarify, I would say I no longer work where I worked. I won't say where, but I no longer work where I work for the purpose of taking care of my children a little bit more and to make more YouTube videos, which is crazy because I'm taking a huge, I wouldn't even call it a huge risk because it's only a couple. I'm going to try it for a few years and see what happens, but I will be able to upload pretty regularly. And my next step is to try and create a weekly consistent upload schedule for 1 to 2 videos. So that's all I'll say. I'll just interject really quickly. Johnny O said, I hope to get you a clip of tomorrow's video. How long do you reckon you'll be with that, Johnny? Because if you got it, I'll hold on for a little while, man. No problem. I'm just gonna end the poll. Pretty close poll at 96%. But yeah, Johnny, let me know how long you reckon it'll be. And yeah, man, I'd be happy to play a clip of that. And then we can close it out after that. But actually, look, what we'll do is, while I'm waiting for Johnny to get back to me, I'll play your video. And so if you don't mind muting, oh no, I'll take care of it. I'll play your video so people can see that, and then we'll come right back. Enjoy.
Hey, can you
Whoops.
take the garbage out?
1 second. Okay, what's up?
I said, can you take the garbage out?
Oh yeah, I can do that. I just gotta poop.
Right now?
Yeah, I'm just gonna need a minute.
Okay. Hey, I need to have these cookies ready in an hour, and I just realized we didn't have any eggs. Can you please run to the store and grab some?
You need me to go right now?
Yeah, could you? What?
I just suddenly realized I have to poop.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird. No. I hit jump. I literally hit the jump button.
Hey, I'm leaving now, but I forgot to feed the animals. Could you do that really quick?
Yeah, I can, but there's just one problem.
What?
I gotta poop, gotta poop, gotta poop, 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 gotta poop, gotta poop, gotta poop, 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 gotta poop, gotta poop, gotta poop, 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 gotta poop.
Brandon.
What?
Are you serious right now?
What are you talking about?
Every time I ask you to do something, you suddenly have to poop.
What? That doesn't happen.
Yeah, it does. Didn't you just see the montage?
Huh.
Yeah, it's like it triggers you somehow.
It triggers me? So you're saying that every single time you ask me to do something, I magically have to poop?
Oh, you don't believe me?
No, I don't, because that would be insane.
Okay. So then, do the dishes. Oh, is something wrong?
No.
Really? Because it kind of looks like you have to poop.
I don't know what you're talking about. I just have bad posture.
Then where are you going?
Didn't you ask me to do the dishes?
In the bathroom?
Oh, you meant the kitchen dishes. Yeah, well, I'm just going to make sure there's none in here real quick.
Uh-huh.
Call a scientist.
Call a scientist. Oh man, I love that fucking video. You know what? Actually, we should do some. Oh wait, sorry, you're still muted. Give me 1 second here. We should definitely do. It just came to my mind right now, just listening to that one. We should definitely do like what it's like to have ADHD video. Something like that would be so funny, man.
Yeah.
That would be
We
epic.
could definitely. We could
That
definitely.
was.
I'm
people
glad
seem to
people
really
like
love
it.
that. Yeah, yeah, man. I
I'm
love that
glad
video.
people like it.
I want to
Yeah.
show the other one too
Well,
because the other one's awesome. I love it.
You can show the other one if everybody's down. Flat Turd said, "Oh shit, you're the fast food guy. That video was awesome. More content, please."
Told you.
Thank you, everybody, for liking my video. So I'm going to be making dozens upon hundreds upon thousands upon dozens upon millions of those videos. So if you like that, then subscribe to me.
I
then we
love
will.
that last video, but the fast food one really hit home because my whole teenage
'Cause you worked
life
in fast food.
Yeah, my dad had restaurants and cafes and stuff, so I used to work in and the guy in your video is everybody who's worked in fast food has dealt with this guy, like it's without a doubt. So what we'll do is Strike the Legend says I have ADHD.
Yeah. ADHD.
Right. What we'll do
The
is
Ross
we'll,
Messon says, "Bring one more."
Bring one more. Let's do it, man. All right, let's. And Johnny O's about to share his video on Google Drive, so we can play that right after. So let's do this one, and then we'll do Johnny O's one. So this one is just about 5.5 minutes long. So as it's running, I'm just gonna go get a cup of coffee, and I'll be right back.
Actually, me too. See you guys in a minute. Oh, hey, how you doing today, sir? Welcome to Burger Hut. I can take your order right here. Do you need a moment to look at the menu? No, sir. I'm a long-time customer. I know exactly what I want already. Should be super easy for you. Perfect. Then I am ready when you are. Okay, great. Then I will just have a medium lamb chop combo meal with a side of fries. And you know what? Let's do a Diet Coke this time. You know, save on the old gut. I'm sorry, did you say lamb chop? Yeah, don't tell me you guys are out of it. I mean, no, we're not out of it. We've never had it. You didn't? I mean, no. We're a fast food place, man. We don't serve lamb here. Wow. You guys really should publicize your menu changes. Well, no, it's not a menu change. We've just never had it. I'm pretty sure you did. Nope, we haven't. But you did, though. Okay, you did. I am positive that we have not. So you're really just gonna sit there and argue with a longtime loyal customer? Well, no, I'm just trying to. Okay, look. You know what? You're right. I apologize. Okay, it's really not that important. There's a menu right behind me. Okay, you are more than welcome to take a few moments, take a look at it, decide what you want. It is not a big deal, okay? You know what? I will. I'll take a look at your updated menu, and then I'll make a decision. It's not an updated menu, but okay. What was that? I just said great. The menu is current. We are more than happy to give you anything that is on that menu right now. Okay? Okay. All right, let me see. What do I want? Do you guys still have mutton at least? No. That's also sheep meat. We don't serve any variety of that here. I literally don't understand right now. Why would you not have mutton? Why would we serve that? We're a burger place. Okay, you know what? You're being super rude right now, and I do not appreciate it. All right? Don't appreciate it. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm just not making myself clear. Okay? As I've said, we're a fast food place. All right? I know. I'm a longtime customer. You keep saying that. Anyway, as a fast food place, we serve burgers and chicken sandwiches and french fries, and that's pretty much it. Okay? We have single burgers and we have double burgers, and sometimes we put synthetic cheese on them. Okay? It's all really good stuff. So if you could just please order any one of those items, and I will get them for you, and then you could eat them. Wait a minute. Did you say this was Burger Hut? Yeah. Oh my God, I am so sorry. Listen, I've been pulling some double shifts at work, and I'm a little bit sleep deprived. I just got my lines crossed. Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Listen, I know exactly what I want now, okay? I know exactly what I want. Are you ready? Okay. Perfect, and let me just get some spotted dick, some blue oyster cult, and a side of lemon porpoise. No. No. Absolutely not. What is your problem? You are. First off, one of those items isn't even food. I'm pretty sure it's a band from the 60s. And spotted dick is a British dessert item that not only can you not find in a fast food place, but you would be hard pressed to find it anywhere in this country. And porpoise? We certainly don't have a porpoise here, let alone a lemon flavored one. Okay? We serve chicken sandwiches that taste like cardboard and burgers that are probably made of cardboard. So if you order one more item that isn't on this fucking menu, I will end you. Okay? I will end you. Okay. Sounds good. Then I'll just have some Hogget. You stupid son of a bitch! What are you doing? Are you insane? No. You wouldn't order? Stop talking, sir. I am so sorry. I cannot believe you right now. Go stand over there now. No, you don't understand. I was like trying to explain it to him and save it. I said stand over there. I will deal with you in a minute. Sir, I am appalled that he treated you this way. Obviously, he does not represent Burger Hut or its values. I have never been treated so poorly in my life. He's lucky I don't call my lawyer. Sir, there is no need to do that. I am fully prepared to give you a year's worth of free meals. In fact, I see that you haven't ordered yet. So why don't you go ahead and tell me literally anything that you want, and I will personally make it for you myself. I'm glad to see some competent people still work here. All I wanted, here we go, was a double cheeseburger meal. You motherfucker. Hey, did you like that video? You did? Dope, because I have some sick news for you. Did you know you can hit the like button? And then you can subscribe to join my family? And then you can hit...
All right. Excellent job, man. Let me just unmute you because you are bemuted. I can confirm that all of that is legitimately true. You do get those kind of people when you work in fast food joints. Let me see here. All right, go ahead.
First off, my beard was... First off, my beard was super real. Okay, I resent anybody saying it wasn't. I grew that shit for at least an hour. Okay,
that definitely was not
CG.
CG. I've seen you had to shave like 4 times since we started this. So I can confirm. Actually,
Yeah,
I'll be right
bro,
back.
I've been shaving.
I'm making
I've
coffee.
been shaving the whole time. Okay.
Yeah,
You guys
just
don't know-
constantly. Like that's what that noise was. I just will say I make coffee in what's called a maca pot, which is the best way to make espresso. But it takes longer than 5 minutes. So I've got a nip over there. So I'll leave it with you. Tell the people about our plan. Tell the people about our video we're working on.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, can you hear me though? Am I good? Can everybody else hear me? Give me thumbs up in the chat if you can currently hear me. Delicious. You've seen my skit before. That's cool. That's cool. That's awesome that you guys have seen that. That was some 5 o'clock shadow. Yeah. Awesome. So, my only issue with that video is that it's a little bit too long. But did anybody catch the ending joke where after the manager steps in, the guy just orders a normal cheeseburger meal? And then the dude's like, you motherfucker. I thought that was a pretty funny way to end it. And then Irish said, talk about our idea. So we're working on a bunch of stuff right now. Right now we're trying to do something funny that has to do with like calling 911 during an emergency. I don't know if there's probably a different number in every country that you call, obviously, but whatever, calling an emergency number and then having the person just give you a hard time for no reason, and then it escalates beyond a reasonable degree. So I think it's going to be funny. I think it has a lot of potential to be funny. It depends on how we do it. But also that comes down to, like, you guys just watched that video. You know, one of the things about that video is, one, my acting was a little bit subpar because I'm still new to it. And I got to get better at fully enunciating myself without being afraid of what I'm going to see later. And so that when you're afraid of cringing at yourself later, you hold your performance back a lot. And the other thing is I tried to do a slight voice with the customer, but I was half-assing the voice. So I didn't fully commit to it. I didn't really believe it. And so the customer came off as a little cringy. In my opinion, he came off as a little cringy. But so I have a lot of room to improve, but I do think that there's something there. People tend to respond well to what I'm doing, which is super awesome. You guys seem to like it for the most part, which is really, really, really cool. Thank you. I mean, you guys are quoting lines from that's awesome to me, you know? And so, you know, even though I'm starting off in a place where I could definitely improve, it's great to see such positive response when I'm so brand new to this. So I only have room to go up from here, right? And with Irish Demon jumping in, we have similar sense of humor, and he has some acting experience behind him and things like that. I really do think this could be a lot of fun, you know, just sitting back and making stuff. What's up, Keith? How you doing, bud? Thanks for saying hi. Flat Turd says, nah, bro, it was awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Flat Turd. I appreciate it. I'm not trying to say it was bad. I'm just saying it could have been better. I think it ran on a little bit too much, but, you know, that's pretty much it. I told them a little bit about the idea. I don't want to spoil it, obviously.
Oh, yeah, I could hear. I had the Bluetooth headphones on. But yeah, hopefully I'd love to have it done maybe before I go back to Ireland. So like within the next 2 weeks, I think we could probably throw something together maybe.
Oh, we could manage something.
So Johnny O sent me a clip from his show, which is coming out later today for me, or like early morning. Yeah, anyway, so it's coming out in like, I think like 12 hours. Would I be right in saying that, Johnny? But here it goes.
Right.
Oh, real quick, missed you too.
I mean, it's not like you just
plot hole. Yeah, I know, man. I'm only doing it
Everything's
because I feel like I have to because I'm so new. Totally right.
Hold on a sec.
You're totally right. Anyway, let's go.
Everything was scrambling up there. I don't know what I did. I pressed something, and anyway, here goes. Here goes Johnny's clip.
right. You're not mad. I mean, it's not like you just stop to respond to a comment on a thread that you're currently ranting about. Wait a second there, Mr. English guy. Did you just create a grammar mistake? That's a run-on sentence there, buddy.
So, yeah, the plot hole dude. I don't even know his name. The beginning of every video, his intro shows the focus of his camera being racked to being in focus, and then he says, "Rack focus," like more than it already is. I've told him what you need to do is change it a little bit to where you say while the camera is out of focus. See, that makes sense. You don't. It's like someone crossing the street and you telling them cross the street now.
Out of all the things that I do that you could point out as being a mistake, that's your go-to? My stylistic choice on how I start my videos? Really?
Nice. So that all goes back to what we were talking about earlier with oh, hold on, let me just get me back up on the screen. There we go. Sorry, my headphones died right in the middle of that, so I was kind of half listening with these headphones and half listening with the other one, and yeah, that kind of goes back to what was said earlier. And here's the thing, right? Like, I had one person message me last night. They were like, "Bro, just lay off it. It's not a big deal," and blah blah. And I to some extent agree, right? Like, you could say that us just some fucking, not trying to be mean, and I genuinely am not trying to be mean, but some inconsequential person on the internet making a comment, right? And I get that. That's a fair point. But here's the thing, right? When you're in a skeptic community or a debunker community or whatever the case may be, there needs to be some level of just mutual respect, a little bit of appreciation, just being decent to each other. The type of assholes we deal with all day, this is what they do constantly. And yeah, so when somebody throws their toys out of their pram or whatever, I'm gonna call it out. Fuck that. Oh, excuse me. You know what I mean? But so yeah, I've got no problem calling him out for that, because look, he does that too freely. He does it too quickly. And if you want to make a thing of it, we make a thing of it. We talk about it. We deal with it. We tried to have a conversation about it, but he ignored us. He banned us, deleted us, whatever. So anyway.
Hey, side question: is my fan causing a ruckus in my mic, or is it okay?
I can only barely hear it. It's fine.
All right, well, cool.
Totally
can you
fine.
hear the tap? Can you hear this tapping, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm just making sure I'm using the right mic. There's a built-in mic on my webcam that sometimes takes precedence, and it's garbage.
Have you got a Logitech Stream Cam?
I do, yeah.
Same.
That's
Mine
what I'm
does that
using.
too. Mine
Yeah.
does that too. It's
Well, see,
such
when
a pain.
You couldn't tell on your stream, but when I film my videos, I film in HD with a real camera. But
Yeah.
my stream cam sucks. I need to upgrade it.
Yeah,
I don't know
mine's
what to
really
do.
bad too. I'm gonna definitely need to get a proper camera for when I go back,
Yeah.
because it's just
Well,
it's just not good quality.
the cool thing is once I've made 3 videos, I have permission from the boss to upgrade my camera to an even better one.
That's awesome.
So I'm gonna do that.
So what's your current one?
Godden's Ryber. Search it all as one word instead of as 2 separate words. So one word, BroMan Legion. But also the link to my channel is pinned in the chat as well. So you can click that and it will pull it right up if you just want to get there quicker. And then my current camera is a Nikon D3500.
I can't remember what one I have somewhere.
But I'm upgrading to I'm upgrading to something much nicer, specifically for YouTube. So it got really high reviews for the purposes of YouTube specifically, which
Gotcha.
I'm super excited for. It is called the Fujifilm XS10.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. The one Johnny was talking about was the. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. The Cinema Pro, I think it was called, and it's
Nice.
epic. My friend has one. My friend Chando films awesome footage. I gotta show you guys that actually. He's a music artist and he does amazing videography as well. Actually, I'll bring some up just so you guys can see how awesome that camera is. And I've been considering maybe starting to put away money to get it, because I want to film documentaries. It's my ambition in life, pretty much.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah.
But let's see if I can find one of Chando's songs to show you guys.
And while you're doing that, I want to
love you.
respond to Flat Turd said, "We or I just need more content. I think I've completed YouTube, so I need more DLC." Yeah, I'm with you, man. I need to upload more now, but I can now though. So that's good news. I'm going to be up once I get this. My current video I'm working on is taking me a long ass time because I'm learning a bunch of new editing tricks that I'm going to be able to employ later because I've learned them now. I don't know why I didn't take the time to do this in the past, but I didn't. But after that, I'm going to upload weekly, man. And I should subscribe. Am I not subscribed to Flat Turd? I gotta be. I have to be.
Black Magic Pocket was the one.
Somebody mentioned that.
Johnny, if you get a chance, would you be able to send me just some of your example footage from that if you get a chance? Even just a couple of just short clips, because I'm still trying to figure out how to film. See, here's the thing, right? I want to film my documentary about moving back to Ireland and all that stuff. But at the same time, I'm struggling with like the camera side of things, knowing what to do, and all I've got right now is my phone, my Logitech, and my what's the other one I have? My GoPro. So I'm kind of like a bit behind on that stuff. So I'm trying to figure out where to go with it. My understanding is from what I could tell, the Black Magic is definitely worth it, but it's quite tricky to use from what I've heard. Oh, the files are massive. I'll wait till it's done then.
I have no experience with the camera you guys are talking about, but that's cool that you're excited to get one though.
How did you find the D3500? I used to have a Canon 5D. That was awesome.
My girlfriend's a professional photographer, and it was her first camera, and she
awesome.
upgraded and gave me the old one.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm gonna upgrade soon to this film. So the Fujifilm one it's kind of a lot. It's $1,300 if it comes with a lens, but it shoots in 4K at 30 frames a second. There's a ton of stuff. Let me pull this up.
So
this
that,
is like
what was the one you have? The D3500. Is that a full sensor? Like, is it a crop sensor or a full sensor? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know that I know enough about the camera to know that.
I gotta look that up. Hey, Limey Plays in the house. Good to see you, my friend. How you doing?
Limey Play.
Well, yeah, I definitely need to upgrade, especially for doing documentaries. Like, one of the things that I want to do is, some of you might know the term, it's called Vox Pop, or it's short for Vox Populi, the voice of the people. And it's basically man on the street kind of stuff, asking people questions about all sorts of stuff. But like just rocking up with a GoPro or a phone is probably not the most professional looking thing, and I just want people to take it a bit more seriously and want the footage to be a bit better too. So I'm kind of looking for the best that I can, the best of both worlds, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so I'm always looking at different cameras for ideas.
Just responding to someone. Sorry, the
Sorry,
plot hole. I do shoot in 24 frames per second, so I appreciate that. I didn't feel I shot in 60 frames per second for the longest time, and I couldn't understand why my renders were taking so long. Well, figured that out. It's a waste of memory to do that.
So when you're right, so here's my difficulty with me using a DSLR or whatever to record, because I've never done it to record YouTube videos, right?
Yeah.
What I love about using the computer to record my videos is I connect my stream cam, I connect my microphone, I open up like QuickTime, and I'm able to record my sound and stuff all in one go. And like I know how to match it. I know how to match it and stuff, but it's just the time it takes is a pain in the ass for me.
So to answer, I think I know what your question is. Like, how do I film on a DSLR kind of?
Yeah, how do you control it? Do you
Yeah.
literally just reach up and press the button, or?
Well, I have done that way. When I filmed all the comedy sketches, I just do it from the camera and then just import it over. But when I'm filming a commentary video where I'm in front of my camera, I use something called Digicam Control, which you plug the computer in. You plug the camera into your computer, and then Digicam Control picks up that there's a camera plugged in, and then you can control it directly from there.
I think that from what I can see, they have that for Mac as well, which is pretty good. That's good. I might have to use that.
It's really, I like it a lot. I record my audio on Ableton Live. I think 11. What do I have? Let me check. Ableton. Oh no, not 11. Right? Is it Ableton Live 10? Which I paid like $800 for. It's fucking ridiculous. But I know. I record on Ableton Live with my audio, and then I record with the DSLR, and then I match them up. I clap because I can't afford one of those clap. I mean, I'm sure I could afford a clapper, but I just clap with my hands.
What's the clapper like what they have in the movies?
Yeah, where they go action snap. So that snap sound is how you line up the audio file so that everything lines up. Because the camera has a built-in mic, but of course you're using your more expensive mic to record. Exactly. And so you got to line up the audio. Yeah, the clapping helps you line it up.
So when I'm on the street, if I'm using a wireless microphone, just like, TV style, so I would just run that either straight into a voice recording system, like a little machine, or do I run it straight into the camera? That's what I was trying to figure out as well.
Oh, which thing? Ask the question again. Sorry.
So let's say I'm out on the street, I've got a DSLR, and I'm recording people answering questions or whatever. And I'm using a handheld microphone. Do I record that microphone into a different machine, or do I use the camera?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you would have it depends, because you can find microphones that connect directly to the camera, but then you have to stay close to the camera. Yeah. Unless you use a shotgun mic, and then you can kind of get further away. But I'd recommend getting a what are they called?
Lavalier mic?
Dan uses. Yeah, lavalier mic. Simon Dan uses one of them.
Problem with that is if I'm just going up to random people on the street, I can't keep, putting it on and off. It's easier to just stick a microphone in their face. You know what I mean? It's a tough one.
Limey Play. Holy shit, you're alive. Great to see you, sir. When are we getting some more of your epic videos? So you weren't here, and I'll answer the question. I did not have time to upload for the longest time. And I recently found myself in a position. I quit my job. I quit my job so that I could be more of I still work part-time, but I'm going to be more of a stay-at-home parent. While my girlfriend works still, because she made more money than me to begin with. But now I have time to make videos. So I'm making videos. I have one ready probably in a couple of days, and then I'm going to keep going from there. So to answer your question.
We got to do like a premiere stream or something for that.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people in here know me, which is really cool. Somebody earlier was like, somebody in here was like, I've seen this already. And I was like, oh, really? I've never even heard that name before. It was like Imagineering or something.
I think a lot of it as well is that because you've been in the community in some way or another for so long, what the fuck? People recognize, what the fuck is happening with my computer? All the tardigrade videos are starting to come up. But yeah, I think people recognize you as well from just being in the community and being around the scene and stuff like that. It's a big part of it. But anyway, we got to get out of here because I got to go do some work before the boss gets home in about 3 hours. It is Mrs. Demon's last day of her work today. She handed in her notice 2 weeks ago. So she's taking 2 weeks off before we move back to Ireland to give me a hand getting the place ready to move. So yeah, she'll need all the love. So if there's any messages or anything anyone wants to pass on to her, she'd be delighted for that. So I'm going to go make her a special dinner for tonight. She's a bit emotional about it, to be honest, because she's worked there for a while and she's got good friends there and stuff. So I might not be able to do a live stream or anything tonight because I'll be chilling with.
Then I will say thank you for having me on.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure. It's great. Anytime at all. Anytime.
And letting me shout myself out unapologetically to your audience.
Anytime, man. Anytime at all. And yeah, I would just ask anybody who isn't already subscribed, go over there, check out BroMan Legion's channel. You guys won't regret it. You won't regret it. So definitely check that out. Absolutely.
You're so nice.
I know.
And I could just respond to 2 people.
Go ahead.
Limey, thank you I'm glad that you missed my content. You won't have to miss it for much longer. I missed you. I missed all of you guys. And then CMDR. So funny thing, it was actually her idea, not mine, to do this. So I'm super lucky there. And to answer old school, yes, I do have the clap. It's raging and it's awful.
And I had nothing to do with it. Just want to clarify. He was eating. I told you not to eat the green penis the other day, but you didn't listen.
But I ate the green penis.
He ate the green penis. He kept choking on the green penis.
I was eating peas. Eating peas. And I said, I'm eating green peas, but then it broke up while I was saying it. And he was like, you're eating penis? And I'm like, what? No, I'm not eating
really
penis.
Sounded like you said penis, and I feel like you're just backtracking. I feel like you were just trying to test the waters with it.
Well, no, because my first thought was, wait, do Irish people have a different name for peas? And I was like, they're those round vegetable things, those little green balls. And he was like, oh, you're eating green balls, huh? And I'm like, oh my God, okay.
You can't win this one.
I'm like, all right, man. But anyway, thanks for having me on.
Oh, my
it was
pleasure,
good to
man.
see everybody.
Anytime at all, man. It was great to have you on. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining me today. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the support. Really appreciate it. Make sure and smash that like button on the way out. And we will catch you all later. Maybe not today. Probably tomorrow. I'll be catching up with Johnny O in the morning, my time. If you're free, Johnny O, that is. I'll be catching up with Johnny O in the morning, my time, to talk about his video. Anyway, thank you so much, lads and lassies, and sláinte.